let's look at a couple games real quick and see if maybe we can learn something today. I titled this Slow Learner because, like everything in life for me, I am not going to learn it the fastest way. I don't just pick things up. So it's going to take a while for me to get where I need to go. So let's take a look at this first game here. So I typically am going to be playing d4 as an opening. I'm playing as white in this game, and that's what I did here. They met with d5. I like the Queen's Gambit. I've just really been a fan of it lately. Once I learned it, not to say I've completely learned it, but once I started playing it, I just found positions that I typically liked, and so I'm going to continue to grow in that. And so anyway, we're going to keep going here for a little bit. Everything's going just fine. Take that. Nothing too crazy. Okay, they play a move that's not necessarily great. I keep going, and we're going to get to the point in a second where I just make a terrible move. So I'm ahead. This is an advantage for white, right? Like I am up by 3 points in the evaluation. So you would think this is going really well for me. And so I will find a way to make this not go well. So I play this pawn move here, and it doesn't help me out very much. They really wanted me to go ahead and take this pawn, kind of break up some of this little pawn cluster here, look for some different defensive attacking things, but I did not do that. And then I go ahead and take this one instead of that one, which now opens up the ability for them to take that pawn. But they play this queen move here, which again, they still really want me to do this move, and for some reason I just won't do it. I think I saw, like, okay, if I go here, I'm attacking the rook with my queen, and I'm also attacking this knight with my pawn. This seems like a good thing for me, but they're able just to move the knight out of the way, and then I play, I take with the rook, a rook b1 to b5, and so with that, it sets up this knight attack here, which once I move it, they move their knight again. And all of a sudden, I'm starting to feel like I'm playing a little bit of defense. I take right here, which was not necessarily a good move. And we're going to see in just a second where I make the biggest mistake. So we're kind of getting into this in-game situation. I put my bishop here to try to block this pawn. When they put their knight here, I move my rook. Like, things are maybe going back my way again. They put the knight here attacking my bishop, and here's where I make a huge mistake. I should move this bishop back to e1, but and I'm going to scroll down here to the commentary. If you know how I can put the commentary up in like the corner of the video, you could comment and let me know how to do that, because I don't know how to use OBS very well, which is what I'm using to record these. But I would love to have this commentary from Take. I just really think it's helpful. Most of the time it's really good. And so anyway, it just says, you know, the knight leaps into the center, creating an immediate threat against bishop on c3. The long game chess must decide how to handle the pressure on that minor piece, perhaps retreating it to e1 to keep eyes on the passed pawn, right? So this move right here would do basically what I would want it to do by helping try to take care of this pawn, because this thing is going to be a problem, right? I know that if they continue to push this pawn, they're eventually going to make a queen, and then I'm going to be in trouble. I don't make that move. I go bishop to d4, and I think my idea was that if I take this bit, if I move here, I can take their pawn. But if they try to push their pawn, maybe I can come back to this square, try to defend somehow. To be honest, I really don't know what I was thinking. I was starting to run a little bit low on time. I was nervous. I just made a move, and you know, it's defended by the pawn. Maybe I can do something with the rook and get the rook back here, since this is also the king is blocked off by the bishop. But that is not good. They actually missed the move that they should have done, which is just to push the pawn. And instead of trying to capitalize on that, maybe moving my rook to B2 in order to, or sorry, A2 in order to help block off this second rank, I move it to B1, which still allows this pawn push. And I don't take with the bishop, which either way I'm still not doing great. They push again. I move my king out. I'm like, okay, maybe if I can get my king over here, I can do something in order to help provide a defender, sacrifice the rook or something. They put me in check. I move my king here. And then there's this fork that I should have saw coming from a mile away, but I did not. I just move the king because I'm like, the rook's gone anyway. They, of course, put me in check. I move it down. And then I resigned right here. This was just, this was not good for me. So going back to this right here, it's just these little moves. Sometimes I feel like, of course, I'm definitely not winning in this position, but I don't feel like I'm at the point in my chess journey where, having a -1 in the eval bar is going to just be the end of me, right? I mean, we're all making some mistakes, but this was just not a great move. And I should have looked at other ways to defend this while also getting out of this attack. And so that would have been the best move. I didn't do that. That's okay. I got to learn, right? Slow learner. That's part of the series. So let's go to the next game. So in this game, I'm playing as the black pieces. They play e4, and then I go for the French because I just like it for some reason. I don't know why I like these really closed games. They did the exchange. We keep going. Just going to move along real quick, get to where we need to go. I move my rook there, kind of moving the bishop. I'm like, okay, tried to trade rooks. They didn't take. Move my knight there. They've got an advantage for sure, but we're still playing. We're figuring things out and pushing the queen back. And then we've actually equalized. Now I have a slight advantage in this position, and it's growing. I'm starting to really be able to be on the attack. And we're about to get to another part where I just start getting tunnel vision in the attack. I start looking at my time. I'm a little worried. A lot of these games that I'm showing right now have been in the time format of 10 minutes with a 5-second increment. I've been playing a couple of them now with 15 minutes with 10 seconds. I'll probably try to play as much of those as I can. It just takes longer to play those games, and so I don't always have a lot of time to play, and I want to play more than just one game, but it is helpful to have more time. So I'm probably going to try to focus on that. So anyway, I start making some mistakes here. We both do. They have, their rook there. I should have just took the bishop, and then they're looking at this bishop. A lot of my mistakes lately have been trying to figure out when to take and when not to take. I see the tension there in the past. It's been one of those things. As soon as there's an opportunity to take something, I just take it. That's, of course, something that beginners usually like to do, just want to attack everything. I know that it's not good to do that all the time, but now that I know that, I'm struggling with when should I take a piece and when should I leave the tension there. So anyway, I take the bishop here. They put their rook on the B file. We're just kind of going back and forth, moving the pieces around, lots of movement. I moved my king, which is not a great move. Should have moved the queen over. And I start seeing this attack going on, and I'm getting nervous again. My time's getting kind of low, and I'm starting to sweat a little bit, right? And so now they're attacking my rook. I didn't want to move my rook here because, again, in my trying to calculate and just getting worried that I'm starting to lose, I just knew, okay, they're going to take here, and then there's a queen right here that can take back, but I've got some defenders, but I've also got this move where the rook is here. I started just getting all in my head about what is a good move, and I did not choose the right move. I moved the rook too far up, which then allowed the queen to come in, give me a check, and take my pawn. I put the queen here to try to sacrifice, but of course, actually they did take here. They'll take this pawn later. Don't worry, spoiler alert. So we traded the queens. They put the rook. I take their rook. They take my rook. Then I just do something horrible. So again, we kind of got back to equal again after being in a bind just because of some decisions that the opponent made. But I make a terrible decision here to put the king in check, not really thinking about what happens once the king goes here. And since I have to move out of the way, I'm like, oh, I'll take a pawn. But then this rook takes this pawn. Like I said earlier, I take their pawn. Eventually, after I put this rook here, I wanted to put some pressure on the rook. But when I take here, they push. I push my pawn. Rook goes here. I put a check. Trying to push my pawn the best I can. I'm just trying to get a queen. They're going to take. I take. Maybe we can do a rook king in game. They got some pawns. Maybe I can eat the pawns. There's absolutely no way. I was lost this whole time. And so anyway, we'll just kind of skip ahead here. I get all the way down here, and there's just no hope. But I'm just struggling. I want to try to play it out because I don't want to be rude, obviously, and not resign when I should resign. But also, this is where you learn how to maybe see an opponent's mistake, or maybe I just see how they are doing this attack. So in the future, when I get there, maybe I can also replicate that and win a game this way if I'm on the other side. And of course, they give me checkmate like this. So lost that game. Not very fun, but yeah, just a bad move with the rook. I saw a check, I gave a check, and it did not work out for me. Okay, let's look at the next game. All right, here we go. So this one hurts. This actually might be the hardest one to show. So I was going to play Queen's Gambit. They played the England Gambit, so I go ahead and take, which is what you're supposed to do. I play this move, which is not great, but I see this kind of attack right here, and so they take there. I don't take back. I just take the center and guarding it with the knight. We're going to keep going here. Speed this up a little bit. So they have an advantage right now, and I play this pawn move. I should have taken here, because if they would have taken here, I've got a queen here. Start trading off pieces with the rook as well. It could have taken back the knight. There was lots of different stuff I could do. Instead, I played this move. They didn't play the best move either. Then I play another move that's not a great move. We keep going. I'm like, okay, we'll trade off the queens. They don't trade the queens, but still in a terrible position. I end up taking here. Put my knight here, rook here, queen goes here. Again, I'm like, oh man, this is not good. I am not happy with any of this. Just trying to get out of the situation the best I can. And so I keep, trying to fight, just fight to the very end. If I to check here, I see this, rook, where obviously if they make a mistake, I would be able to checkmate the king, but they have mate in 4, right? This is just kind of lost, and so I play this move. They play queen takes on c2, and so when they do that, I see that the king is right here. I can move this rook here like I wanted to earlier. While it's not checkmate, I've got pawns over here. I've got my queen. I'm like, wait a minute. I think there's an attack here. So I move my rook. The king goes there. I move my queen here for check. The king goes there. The blunder. The king literally moved into mate in 3. I'm like, I know it's there. I can see it. I'm so happy that I played this game through. This is why you don't resign. Queen should go to d5. That should be the move. Because if you go here, king goes here, queen goes here, King goes back here because that's all it has left, and you put your queen here, defended. That's checkmate. That was mate in 3. I do not play that move. I play pawn to g4, thinking that if I have a check here, and if this king moves down here, I can somehow get my queen over here or rook here, sacrifice the rook. Somehow, I don't even know what I was thinking. I miscalculated completely. The king goes here, I take the rook here, and king goes there. I go to the very end here, and it's mate 1. Oh, it hurt so bad when I went back and looked at this just trying to, it hurt so bad to go back and look at this and see how close I was to what I wanted to do. Like, I knew it was there, but I just didn't think it through. I had some time. I had 3 minutes left of time. I really could have taken some time here, but when it gets to these end games like this, I just get so in my head, and I start to really second guess everything, and that's just how it happened. And so anyway, I hope that maybe this is instructive for you to take a little bit of time, if you have time, to do calculations, right? To just make sure that if you think there's something there, don't get so much tunnel vision on just the one idea. Like, I just saw the pawns. I saw the pawns right here and was like, okay, there's got to be something with the check. There's got to be something with one of these pawns move that I can get the queen in there, get the rook to come down. And it just wasn't there because it leaves a hole right here for the king to get past, and then I don't get to get that checkmate in time. So that's all I'm going to do for today, just because this is kind of a long video. But let me know if you like this series, if there's anything you want me to change about it, improve on it, so that we can learn together. Looking forward to some videos in the future of us doing some puzzles, so that we can also learn some tactics and how to maybe see some of these things and visualize them in our head before we actually make the move, in order to help win some more games and have lots of fun. Right? Just supposed to be fun. So, as always, remember, information without application is just procrastination. So, go do something.